Yo, what up you cats, my Escape 20 here, and today guys, what I have for you here today is the Baroness Loadout guide for Borderlands the pre-sequel. So today guys, what we're going to be looking at is two separate builds, the sniper build and the contract build. So if you haven't gone ahead and seen the Baroness skill point guide, make sure you go ahead and check that out because this video will be directly related to that video. So everything we're going to be talking about here, we're going to be relating to it there. But if you're one of those people that love your build and all you want to do is see how other people are playing and building their Baroness, then make sure you go ahead and stick around because this video still could be for you. So let's go ahead and talk about the first build. So the first build we're going to be talking about is the sniper build. So the guns I like to use are the long nail, Fatale, the Magma, and the Cyber Eagle. So before we jump all into this, what I like to do is think back real quick on some of the the key skills that we invested in and why all this guns and gear are going to be kind of synergizing with all of this. So let's go ahead and think back real quick. So some skills that are pretty important to note is when we aim down sights with a sniper rifle, we do a random element that does Nova damage. So that's very, very nice to know. Also, the longer we are from the target, the more damage we do. We also score a critical hit, increases our gun damage. We have increased gun damage and reload speed, but decreased magazine size. And one more thing, I guess, to note is we also heavily invested in the Kyro tree by doing more Kyro damage, as well as non-elemental guns are going to be doing Kyro damage as well. But any Kyro damage gun, we're going to be doing an additional 25%. And then finally, the Frigid Touch skill, which is all Kyro damage done, we get back in lifesteal. So that is basically some key points to be, I guess, to note about this build. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So the long nail is a sniper rifle, the Fatale is a SMG, the Magma is a sniper rifle as well, and the Cyber Eagle is a pistol. So the long nail I really like as a Kyro weapon, and the reason I like it as a Kyro weapon is because the effect on that is it bypasses shields, right? So we don't have to worry about shields at all. We want to use that as Kyro so we can do the most amount of damage possible. We want to heavily inflict our Kyro damage onto the opponent, as well as ignore all shields and just go straight for the kill. Like that's very nice to have. The Fatale is very nice because we have increased magazine size and critical hit damage, and this is a Kyro SMG, so that is the only way you can get this gun is Kyro. The Magma is actually an incendiary sniper rifle, and the reason I like this is because it has increased splash damage and elemental chance. So why is that relevant? Well, if everything's frozen around you and you pop out your Magma and you shoot one person with your Magma, it's going to spread to everybody. So it's going to be this giant storm of fire. Everyone's going to be frozen. Everyone's going to be melting. And I'm sure that's not good for your body. So they're all pretty much going to die. So that's kind of why we want to pick up that sniper rifle. So the next gun I like to use is the Cyber Eagle. Now that is a Shock's revolver, right? So what is good about this? Well, it's a Jacobs and it has elements, so you really can't go wrong with that. Jacobs has so much gun damage in itself, the base damage, and the Shock element is fantastic for taking down shields. So one thing to note about this is when you're not moving, the lightning bolt effect that comes off of the Cyber Eagle has 100% accuracy to hit targets. So that is very nice to know. Now, your bullet might miss, if you don't have as, that good of accuracy, but the actual lightning bolt will never miss. So that is awesome to know. The shield I like to use is the Sham, purely for the ammo regeneration to kind of, keep us in the game, not have to, worry about running out of ammo mid-fight and stuff like that. And the class mod I like to use is the Big Game Hunter. Now that is actually a purple class mod. It's not a legendary, but the reason I like it is because it increases our sniper gun damage as well as our sniper max ammo. So that is fantastic. That pretty much counters out the skill where we increased our gun damage and reload speed but subtract our magazine size. That completely counters that out for sniper rifles. So now we're just going to be doing even more gun damage. So that is fantastic to have. The skills that it works with is the markswoman, culling of the herd, and I never miss. So those skills in itself are very, very nice. The Oz kit I like to use is the Systems Purge, which is actually a blue unique Oz kit, and basically what that does is when your oxygen is above 75%, it, when you shoot somebody, it releases this shock nova, knocks everybody back, and pretty much depletes everyone's shield. So, like I said, the one of the skills that we focused on is the farther we are away from the target, the more damage we do. So if we can create more distance from our targets, we're going to be doing more damage on its own. So the actual element to the Oz kit is Kyro. We like to use it as Kyro because you can come down, slam down, and freeze everybody, and then knock them all back and deplete everything. But the actual element that it does as well is the shock. So you actually get this Oz kit from the side mission Eradicate, and you can always look that up if you don't know what I'm talking about. You get that in the Veins of Helios, if I remember right, and it's not really too bad of a mission, so make sure you go ahead and do some research on that. So the grenade also I like to use is the Four Seasons, and the reason I like this is because it comes with a random element. You never know which one you're gonna get. You can either get the shock, the Kyro, the Incinerary, the Corrosive, or the Explosive. So the reason I like this is because it's an AoE, or an area of effect, and basically it's going to trim down the battle for you, so you can focus greater on being able to just pick people off with Sniper. If you're getting overwhelmed, you just pop a Four Seasons, and boom, summer comes, right? No, not really, but yeah, so basically that's kind of how that works. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the next build, which is the contract build. So let's go ahead and think back what this one does. So basically what this does is you have to partner up with somebody. If you're not with somebody, if someone else is not in the game with you, this whole build is completely useless, right? Maybe not the guns and gear, but the actual concept is useless. So what exactly does this do? Well, the longer we are alive, the more stacks we get. So who cares about stacks, right? Well, the more stacks we get, the more accuracy we receive. The more stacks we get, the more reload speed we get. Also, killing an enemy restores a portion of your servant's shield, so they get shield regeneration. Also increases gun damage, and a bunch of other things. And as well as we're going to be trying to keep them alive. So the longer you can stay alive, the longer the stacks go up, so you'll be doing better stuff over time, right? So we also invested heavily in the Kyro tree, which is the middle tree, the cold money. So what that does is basically we're increasing all Kyro damage, as well as all Kyro damage that we do, we heal for 2% of it. So it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's a grenade, Oz kit, it doesn't matter. Any Kyro damage you do, if we kill somebody, we get that health back with 2%. So that's very, very nice to have. So yeah, let's go ahead and go back and talk about what guns we're going to use and gear. So the guns we like to use are the Vitel, which we talked about in the last one, which is the increased magazine size and crit damage, the SMG. I like the Vibrapulse a lot, the Shredifire, and the Nukem. So the Vibrapulse is very nice because it is a shock. It is a shock laser, and it heals you for the damage that you've done. So it's very, very nice because you can take down shields for other people. Hopefully they can do more damage and get more kills that way. But it also heals you and stays you alive. So just like I mentioned, the longer we're alive, the more stacks we're going to get, and the more damage and blah, blah, blah we're going to do. So just the better overall we're going to be if we stay alive. The Shredifire is very nice. I like to have it an Incinerary or a Corrosive. It really depends what you're having trouble on. So if you're fighting a lot of armored units, the Corrosive is obviously better. If you're fighting not armored units, then the Incinerary is better. It's fantastic because it has a nice magazine size and it keeps you safe. So if you have two of these, keep them both on you, right? And just switch them out whenever it's useful. And the other one I like to use is the Nukem. So that is fantastic RPG because it is a great area of effect. So say you and your buddy are in trouble and you guys might go down soon or something, you're just getting swamped with enemies. The Nukem is fantastic because it has so much area of effect that it can easily wipe out a bunch of enemies and kind of keep you guys back in the game. So yeah, so the shield we like to use is the Reogenator, and I really like this is because it increases our max health and elemental resistance. So why are you using that, Chase? Like, what does that even matter? So like I said, we're trying to stay alive here. We're trying to keep us alive so we can keep our friend alive, and our friend is going to be doing so much damage if you contract with like a Nisha, or contract with like a Jack or a Wilhelm, or even an Athena, just depending on how she builds her tree. So if you pair up with the elemental, oh my lord, it's over. Like, you can just kiss this whole game goodbye. You pretty much won as soon as you sign the contract. So that's why we want to do that. The class mod I like to use is the Chronicler of Elpis, and I really like this because of several reasons, right? So it increases our freeze chance, it increases our Cairo damage in itself, which we'll talk about here in a second. And it also increases our shield capacity, which is great for staying alive, right? Our Reogenator is super important for this build, and increasing that shield capacity is just fantastic, right? Also, the skill set it works on is the Frostbite, which increases our Cairo damage bonus, and Quality, not Quantity, which is any blue gear and guns, any blue guns or greater, we increase our gun damage and gun fire rate. So that is a fantastic class mod, and it literally works perfectly with this build. The Oz kit I like to use is the Moonlight Sega, and I really like this because in the vacuum or indoors you get lifesteal, and outside you get or in the atmosphere you get health regen. So you can use any element with this if you like. Anything, doesn't matter. Personally, I don't think it matters, but it doesn't. I don't think it matters. So the grenade I like to use is the Leech. So why the Leech, right? Well, the Leech we like to have as a Cairo element. So listen to this very carefully. So all damage done, and I mean all damage done, right? I'm not talking about, oh, do a bunch of damage and get like 1% of it back. I mean literally all damage done with this grenade. Restores health to your allies instantly, right? So having this as a Cairo element, we already are amplifying our Cairo damage, right? Our class mod increases our Cairo damage in itself. The Frostbite skill that it increases our Cairo damage bonus. The Wintertide, which increases Cairo damage by additional 25%. We also have Frigid Touch, which is all Cairo damage. You get lifesteal back. So we have lifesteal for ourselves. We have lifesteal for our team. We have lifesteal for your mom. We have lifesteal for everything, right? We're all one big lifestealing family here, and we're never gonna die. And that's why this grenade is fantastic for this build. So like I mentioned a billion times, the longer we can stay alive, the longer we can keep our servant alive, the more stuff we're going to do. So we're going to scale automatically with this build. We're going to be increasing our gun damage, reload speed, blah, 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 swap speed, everything, right? We're going to be doing everything naturally, right? So the longer we can stay alive, it'll just scale on its own. So that is why I want to do that. If you die or your contract partner dies, or they call it servant, then all stacks are gone and you have to restart. So it's super important to keep you guys both alive and play very aggressive but conservative at the same time. Know your limits. That's what this build really kind of synergizes off and really excels in, is when you guys push your limits, but you also know your limits so you don't die. So yeah, those are the two loadout builds I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed. The actual contract build in itself is a lot better. Now, like I said, it does 100% rely on if you're playing with other people. If you're not playing with other people, it doesn't matter. But if you can get some people together, 100% switch to this build, and I promise you guys will destroy everything. So anyway, thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video for sure. So previous video is the Jack loadout guide. So if you haven't seen this video, make sure you check that out if you want to learn how to build Jack and all the weapons and gear to use. And the feature video is the complete DLC guide. So Why am I showing you this? Well, I worked very hard on this when I actually made the video, so I definitely want to show this off because it did take a lot of time and effort. But I'm also showing this because I am planning on doing this for the Borderlands 1 as well as Borderlands pre-sequel, so I've got 2 more to do for those. And I want to start kind of getting into some other stuff, you know, that has to do with that. I also have 2 surprise videos for you guys that I kind of want to make, so hopefully you guys will stick around for that. So anyway, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. If you want to see more videos just like this one, please leave a thumbs up. Also, best way to contact me is on Twitter at MyHeroescape20, and I'm also creating a Facebook page, so that'll be something new that I will be announcing pretty soon. You know, I'm starting to recognize not everybody has Twitter, not everybody likes Twitter, so if I have a Facebook page, you know, it might easily be able to kind of reach out to you guys and still talk to you guys. You know, I love talking to you guys, I love hearing your opinions and blah blah blah, so I really like hearing those kind of stuff. So anyway, also if you want to see me play this game live, go to twitch.tv/myheroescape20. So you can find all that in the links below. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Stick around and we'll have a great time. So yeah, alright, peace.